from Surat, I am going to a city called as Bhavnagar, which is, if you go by road, is almost 400 kilometers from Surat. But if you take a ferry, it's only about 90 kilometers by road and the ferry together. So I'm going to go from here to a place called as Hazira Port, and then I'm going to put my bike and I'm going to take a ferry which is only 60 kilometers to the Ghoga Port, and then from Ghoga Port it's only 20 kilometers to the main city. So there's not too much riding to do today, kind of like a rest day, and so I'm not going to wear too much of my gear, just my jacket. I have an e-ticket. I'll put the link in the description if you want to book the ferry from Surat to go to Bhavnagar. I was going to have my breakfast here in Surat, but apparently I'm running late, so I'm going to eat something in the ferry itself. They have a restaurant in the ferry, and the ferry is going to leave at 8, but I have to be there about 7 o'clock. It is about 30 kilometers. I don't know why the GPS says about 50 minutes, and anytime the GPS tells you 50 minutes, always expect it to be about 1 hour. So I'm going to leave very quickly. Looking for any loose straps. Yep, there we go. Goodbye, Surat. Security check. फोन में चलेगा?
कैमरा है ना?
हाँ जी, हाँ जी। आज का डेट ठीक है? Okay, so he told me to go to the two-wheeler parking, which is where they'll give me the band to wear on my hand. I think this is the one. So apparently you have to make a couple of stops here. First stop is where they will check your ticket in the phone. This is the one where they'll give you a band, and I have one more stop to make here, where he'll give me a boarding pass of some sort. Yeah. Chalo, moment of truth. Ooh, that's my ferry there. Welcome to India's largest ferry from Hazira to Ghoga. I love that sunlight on the horizon just coming out through the clouds early in the morning. So I have to kind of take that boarding pass from the gate and give it to somebody here. I'm not sure. That's what the guy at the gate told me. Is it slippery? No, it's not. It was actually raining early in the morning, so as you can see all this floor is wet, but luckily it's not slippery. I think these are the people who will take your boarding pass. Thank you. Time to get inside the ferry. La la, come on. First floor. Yeah. Ooh, that was rough. I'll park somewhere out here in the corner. It is so hot in that parking area of the ship. Oh, kind of sweating. And this is the ferry. It is leaving in like, I think, half an hour. There's a cafe. And the seating is here. This is the business class that I have. They also have like executive class, and I think they have like 4 classes. You have to keep your bags in the parking, and you cannot take your bags in here because outside food is not allowed. They have cafe, they have everything. So I'm gonna have my breakfast once the ferry starts, and they have some games. They also have access for a wheelchair in case you need that. This is a safety briefing just like they have on airplanes, and you're not allowed to use the top deck in the beginning and the end of the ferry. You can use it once the ferry starts. It's a beautiful morning. It's about 7:30, and it's gonna take about 4 hours. So we'll be in Ghoga, and from Ghoga, Bhavnagar is only 20 kilometers, so it's gonna take half an hour maybe. So it's better than taking the road, because if you were to go from here from Surat to Bhavnagar, you have to cross the Strait of Khambat. One thing you have to realize is that it takes like 1 hour to come to Hazira port from Surat city. So just leave by, if you're gonna take the 8 o'clock morning ferry like I did, make sure you leave by at least 6 o'clock to come here at 7 o'clock, because the ferry is not going to wait for you, and the tickets are non-refundable. So it is 7:59, and the captain has already given instructions for the departure. So that means the ferry leaves exactly on time. Don't be late. If you don't have a power bank like me, there is a charging station there, but you'll have to keep your phone out there. So I would recommend you getting a power bank like this. Those tugboats are pulling the ship from the port. I'm just going to show you how you can book your ticket online. You can choose your language by clicking on this red circle here. I think they currently have about 4 languages. The next part is to choose if you want a one-way ticket or a round trip. The good thing is that you can choose a different departure date and a different return date. We'll choose a one-way ticket as an example. As of March 2025, the ferry time is 9 o'clock, and in this part here, you have to first choose if you are solo, if you're taking your car, or if you're taking your bike, or you can even take your truck if you have one. You'll see the different prices for all these vehicles. In the second line, you can choose all the different classes on the ship, and when you click on them, you will be able to see the price. The third line is the number of people that you're booking the ticket for. If it's more than 2, you can hover on this blue icon here and it will give you a number. If it's more than 9 people, you can click here and it will give you another different number. On the next page, you can enter all your personal details like your first name, last name, gender, age. So you will have to enter the name of your bike or your car. If it's a new vehicle without registration, you can click here, or you can enter the registration number. After that, you need to choose your ID and enter the ID number. Lastly, your contact details, and make sure this number is correct, because all your transactions and all your confirmation will be received on this number. If you have already registered on the website, you can just log in. If not, you can click on the sign up, enter your name, email, and you're good to go. So as soon as the ship departs, the deck is open the minute the ship departs. So let's go and take a look at our ship. Everybody's heading out to go to the deck. Restaurant up here. This is the sleeper class, and there's some more. You can play some games here. Hello, bola, hello. So this is like the lower deck. There you go. That deck out there is for the crew only. This is for the normal people.
હનુમાન ગૌશાળા માટે બધા જ ઘોઘારી પરિવાર જાય છે. ઘોઘારી પરિવારની જય.
हम सारे लोग सौराष्ट्र के हैं बेसिकली, भावनगर के सारे लोग भावनगर के हैं, लेकिन सूरत रहते हैं. वहाँ पर आपको जहाँ जाना है हम लोग गाइड करेंगे.
चलेगा, ठीक है.
आप हमारे सारथी मंदिर आइए, ओके, मिल के चाय पियेंगे, भोजन करेंगे, बाद में आप जाओ.
ठीक है, चलेगा. चलो, थैंक यू सो मच. थैंक यू एवरीवन. मुखड़ा दादानी
જય.
रोकड़िया हनुमानजी महाराजनी जय. Met a lot of lovely people here. For today's voyage, there are only like 2 people in business class. So, I'm just gonna go there. But you're not allowed to have any food or drinks in the seating area. So this is the only place where you can have, like here, and the restaurant and upstairs on the deck. It's the only 3 places where you're allowed to eat and drink. The best time I would say to take photos on the deck is after like 1 or 2 hours. Because for the first like 15 minutes, half an hour, everybody just running to the deck and trying to take photos. So the deck gets very, very busy. But as soon as everybody relaxes after like 30 minutes, some people go to eat, some people go back to their cabins. The deck is almost like empty after that. It's like an hour and a half. It's 9:20, so it's 1 hour and 20 minutes into my journey. And I met a wonderful group of people here. One of that guy was the head of the South Gujarat University, and the whole group invited me for dinner at their place. So we are gonna look at the different classes of the ship. The one that I'm in is the business class, so we're gonna look at the other different classes. Yes, ये मेरा already. Yes. That is also business class.
हो गया आपका.
This is the executive class. Also executive class.
ये आपको कैम्बो लंच.
अच्छा, ये लाउंज है.
वीवीआईपी पर्सन के लिए.
VVIP है. ओके. So देखते हैं कैसा है. ओके. So it has its own cafe, and this is the sitting area.
ये आपको ओपन मिलेगा सामने.
ओके, फ्रंट व्यू है. ओके.
पूरे सामने.
तो इसके ऊपर होगा कैप्टन का केबिन, राइट?
सामने.
ओके. VVIP के लिए कोई टिकट है या मतलब ओनली स्पेशल पीपल? टिकट है. VVIP का टिकट है.
आप भी ले सकते हैं.
ओके.
ये आपका केबिन क्लास है.
ओके, केबिन क्लास इज दिस वन. ओके, तो इसमें प्रॉपर प्राइवेट केबिन्स है.
हाँ, इसमें प्राइवेट केबिन है. 11 केबिन है.
ओके.
फैमिली मेंबर 4 पर्सन मतलब रह सकते हैं.
अच्छा, ओके, मतलब एक केबिन में 4 लोग रह सकते हैं. ओके. सिटिंग है. ओके. ये सोने के लिए बेड्स, और ये एक थोड़ा सा फैमिली टाइम, और ओके, तो वॉश भी, और एक कबर्ड है, राइट?
ये सामने का लुक है.
ओके, थैंक यू. एंड इट्स गॉट इट्स ओन TV as well. Most of the time I was wondering why my business class is empty, but then a lot of people in business class are sitting in those other rooms, and that's why there's only like 2 people in here. We're gonna look at sleeper class, which is on the other side. So these are the sleeper classes down there. ये जो येलो वाला बैंड है वो किसका है? येलो कलर का.
येलो है पीला ना. इधर एग्जीक्यूटिव आपके सामने है.
Just across the sleeper class is this play area, and then if you open this door, you're gonna end up in the toilet. And the toilets are pretty clean. These are lockers if you want to keep your bags while you use the toilets. And this one, and let me show you the toilets. Pretty clean toilets.
Let me better explain this to you on a map. Why taking a ferry is much more better than taking the road. So this is Surat and here is Bhavnagar. It's divided by the Strait of Khambat. If you were to take a ferry from Surat to Bhavnagar, it would be about 95 kilometers and roughly take you between 4.5 hours. But if you were to take the road around the Strait of Khambat, it would be 400 kilometers and take you about 8.5 hours. So that is the difference. The ferry might not save you a lot of money, but it definitely saves you time and the efforts of driving your car for double the amount of time.
The time is like, I think 11 o'clock. Yeah, it's exactly about 10:56. And I just woke up from my nap. I didn't have breakfast, so I'm gonna have breakfast now. But two things that I wanted to mention is, one is never take off this band, because they have different bands for different classes. The other thing is that carry cash, because the Paytm or electronic payments are not going to work, because we are in the middle of the ocean, and you get network most of the time though. Sometimes you'll get network, but sometimes you don't. I've ordered a cappuccino.
शाम को रिटर्न है क्या?
नहीं, अफ्रीका। अच्छा, आप अफ्रीका में? ओके। मतलब और आपको मैं तो भूलता हूँ ना, आप गुजराती हो?
हाँ, पढ़ा यहीं हुआ था, लेकिन 25 साल टाइम से जा रहा था। सूरत में स्टे किया था, तो फिर कार लेके जाना का बहुत दूर लग रहा था, तो बोला कि फेरी है, चलो गया।
I met so many people today. I spoke to at least like 50 people on the cruise. Like everybody's coming and saying hi. Very nice people. Amazing. They closed the restaurant like 1 hour before the ship. So this is the part of the sea. Once the ship arrives in this part, they will stop serving snacks. So the only thing I got is coffee. So I'm gonna have my brunch maybe when I reach Bhavnagar. It's time to get off the ship. We have arrived at our destination. Same way we came from, and the weather outside is hot again. It's not raining today, luckily, and I'm gonna go get my bike, pack all my stuff on there, and leave for Bhavnagar. There you go.
So the way it works here is like they let the bikes go out first, then followed by the cars and then the trucks. But I had so much of luggage to strap that I will now have to wait for all these cars to go, and I'll be the last biker. You know, it's very important to follow the safety rules during disembarking from the ship and maintain enough distance between two vehicles. Slowly and steadily. Hello, Ghoga. We are finally in the Saurashtra region of India. Saurashtra is also known as the Kathiawad region. If you ever heard of the Kathiawadi food, it is from this region here. So those people were gonna meet me outside at the bus stop. Ooh. So probably like 200 meters from here is the bus stand. Okay. Okay. So the plan is to follow them all the way to the temple. That's like 15-20 people in a rickshaw. My god, this reminds me of that Hera Fairy movie. You know that Om Puri scene where 15-20 people come out of the car? What the hell? Did something break? Not sure. It sounded like not good. I think that's probably a piece of wood or something. Yo! You know, the best thing is everybody on this ferry just kind of recognizing and waving as if I've been living here forever.
These are the guys I met on the ferry, and they insisted me to come here, you know, have some tea, look at the temple. This is the Gaushala that they have here, and this is the temple. और ये क्या है? यहाँ पे क्या है?
बापू की जगह है।
अच्छा, बापू की जगह है। ओके ओके ओके। और ये वाला?
यहाँ बापू जगह, यहाँ पे दूना है, वो पूरे महात्मा लोग बैठते हैं ना, उसका दूना चलता है।
So this is the Gaushala where they have like 700 cows. 700 का है ना? This is the one.
ये यहाँ पे बापू जो गौशाला चलाता है, यहाँ पे उसका पूरा दूध जो आता है वो यहाँ से किसी को बेचता नहीं है।
अच्छा।
पूरा यहाँ पर ही रहता है,
अच्छा
किसी को बेचता नहीं। यहाँ जो गाय लोग हैं वो उसके आंचल में जो दूध आता है वो पी जाती है। तो आश्रम से बाहर कोई दूध जाता नहीं है।
अच्छा, मतलब गाय का बच्चे भी
हाँ, गाय का बच्चे पी लेते हैं, कोई बेचते नहीं है
ओके
बापू।
समझ
और जिसको गाय छोड़नी है वो वहाँ से लेके यहाँ पर रखता है और उसकी देखभाल यहाँ पे करते हैं। का चारा आता है वो सब लोग दान में बोलते हैं कि
दान
मेरे को
देते
देना है,
हैं।
सब दान देते हैं। अमूल मिल्क का वो प्रेसिडेंट है पूरे अमूल
अच्छा,
की
आप
फैक्ट्री का जनरल मैनेजर है।
क्या नाम है आपका?
डॉक्टर बुखारी
आस्था है हमारे यहाँ ये एडवोकेट उन्होंने कोई 5 लाख रुपया वो बनाया ना
जी जी जी,
5 लाख एडवोकेट
नाइस टू मीट यू।
और सूरत के दक्षिण गुजरात इंडिया
अच्छा, आप उसके प्रेसिडेंट हो?
सेनेट मेंबर
सेनेट में? ओके नाइस नाइस नाइस।
यहाँ पे गोगा के राजा थे पैरम बेट के मुखड़ा जी गोहिल, वो भी यहाँ दर्शन करने आते थे। और यहाँ का जो सौभाग्य है, हमारे गुरुजी है जगमोहन दास बापू, और यहाँ के जो सेवागण भक्त है वहाँ यहाँ पे सब लोग सुबह दर्शन करने आते हैं। और ये करीबन 700 साल पुराना मंदिर है और हनुमान जी का प्रागट्य यहीं से हुआ है।
Taking me for some tea. This whole place is just very close, I think about 1 kilometer from the Goga port. And this is where you'll get tea. And ये क्या है?
ये उसका जो अपना वो जो सुनी बोलते हैं ना, वो जो अपने वो जो क्या होगा आग रोशनी।
हाँ हाँ अच्छा ओके ओके अच्छा हाँ हाँ हाँ
अब लेना
जहाँ पे पूजा वगैरह करते हैं।
हाँ वो
This is the Dhuni area
हाँ
where they do the prayers.
ये प्रचलित है अभी।
So this is the tea. It's made from local milk. ये यहाँ के गाय का दूध का बनता है।
दूध बेचते नहीं है।
थोड़े का
यहाँ यहीं के गाय का तो आपका एक काठियावाड़ी में कोई एक मुहावरा वगैरह सुना? आप काठियावाड़ी में ऐसे आप कैसे कैसे हो कैसे बोलते हो?
क्यों से
केहू से। चलो भाई साहब आपसे फिर मिलेंगे। चलो आपकी तरफ है ना। चलो अंकल थैंक यू सो मच। चलो चलो भाई साहब थैंक यू।
रास्ता दिखा दिया भाई।
आपसे बहुत अच्छा लगा मिलके और बुलाने के लिए बहुत बहुत
यहाँ आपको जाना गिर
भावनगर
यहाँ से सीधा
जी
जरूर पड़ेगी फोन कर। ये सारा यहाँ के लोग भावनगर डिस्ट्रिक्ट के लोग।
बाय गाइस, बाय बाय, सी यू, थैंक यू, बाय बाय, थैंक यू भाई, बुलाने के लिए बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। बहुत अच्छा लगा आपसे मिलके, है ना सर। He's given me his card in case anything happens. He's an advocate, so he's like, if something happens, give me a call. What an amazing experience meeting all the local people of Bhavnagar. They invited me to their temple, you know, made me have some tea. I'm gonna go to Bhavnagar, which is straight 16 kilometers down that way. I have to check in my hostel. The locals suggested me a place called as Neelam Bagh, which is a very historical place of the king of Bhavnagar. So let's go. We're here. That is my dormitory, and
and I'm gonna freshen up and go explore the city. So I'll see you in the next video.